Morning, y'all. I'm back, and of course, I said I was going to be here. I'm coming through a little later than I want, and I'm going to be cutting it close on a couple of things that I'm trying to accomplish here this morning. But yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure I got this one off because I said last night in that rare late video that I put out, it's just funny because there was a lot going around where there were a lot of reports where Kazuchika Okada would be ultimately heading to WWE. Now, I'm not really sure how true those reports were at the time, but it seems they weren't very true at all, as come to find out in the evening last night, nothing was ever confirmed. He hadn't even really began his process as far as any decision that he's making, whether it's going to be WWE or AEW. Nothing had even been decided yet. But what was really, really wild to me is the fact that in the report saying that he was headed to WWE, what was said is that he was going to start on NXT. I mean, first of all, I do want to point out that when you go and check out my last video, did not too bad on that as far as views, but when you check out that video that I talked about as far as where Okada would go, I made a bit of a wild prediction where I said something to the effect of, if we don't hear anything this week about Okada, it's likely he's headed to AEW. Honestly, having come to seeing that he's finishing up a lot of his final dates that he has with New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I believe, as I understand it, there are at least a couple more left. I'm not real sure. I don't know the schedule off the top of my head. But, yeah, he's finishing that out, and with that, he hasn't even begun that decision-making process, which is real funny to me that such a report came out as quickly as it did, and leave it to the folks at Fightful to debunk that. And it was just really, really interesting that it would come out the way that it did without any actual base behind it or anything. Again, I don't know what the exact dates were, but the way that I understood it from what I heard last night, he still has a few remaining dates that he's looking to work here, and as I understand it, they're all going into February. So if that's the case, I would find it highly unlikely that he winds up showing up for the Rumble, if anything, because I doubt those are any of those dates. That's not anything that would have been housed within a deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I guess you never know. I mean, there were reports that they were actually starting to work on a relationship with New Japan and WWE, but that really hasn't been confirmed either. All I'm really trying to say at this point is that it's just funny that all of this happened, but I just find it even more significant, though, because I actually just watched clips of Okada where he's actually having his final matches at venues that he's been performing at for years. And to say the very least, I'm inclined to believe that with all of that going on, and if he's still got any number of dates, regardless of when they are or how long, they seem to be, whatever the case may be, like whatever's left on that to where he's still working these shows, I would like to think that with all of that going on and with the emotion that I've seen in these clips in his eyes, I mean, there are points where I'm not sure how he actually winds up fighting off the tears, but there's an awful lot of emotion in the building. I mean, there was a clip where he had his final performance in Korakuen Hall, and you know, people were just chanting Okada, 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 and you know, that being your last show there, I'm just thinking, putting myself in his shoes, if that's me, man, that's doing a number on me right now as we speak, you know, because you're having to weigh all that out, or you're having to, you know, take all that in. You're weighing out all these decisions you're having to make right now, you know, as far as what your future entails. There's no way in hell that anything of him, you know, making such a decision would have ever been true, you know. And the thing about it, and I said this before, I'm good with wherever he decides to go. If he's WWE, cool. If he's AEW, cool. Hell, if he was TNA, even better. Even fucking better for all the things that could lead to. But really and truly, I mean, the former two are obviously the more obvious options, you know. I mean, unless some other mega billion-dollar company comes out that we haven't heard about yet that just hits the scene from out of nowhere. I kind of doubt that's going to be the case, but that's just my take on that. I said in my previous video, I think AEW is probably the more likely, more realistic option, but WWE would make a lot of sense. The guy is 36. I imagine he's going to want to get in a WrestleMania moment here or there. So chances are maybe we see him out in Philly. I mean, I'm not ruling that out yet. I'm absolutely not going to rule that out. And to be perfectly honest with you, hell, with his new deal of Raw going to Netflix, it wouldn't hurt having a guy like Okada in the fold. But we don't know that. I don't think we're anywhere close to knowing that, because the man himself ain't anywhere close to knowing it. There's no shot at that whatsoever. But either way, that's just what I wanted to get out on that, because it was just wild, and that was literally like a day or so after I had posted my video. You know, suddenly he's being said to be on his way to WWE and will start in NXT. No. And no. I mean, and I get it. The international stars, it's a little bit different. They're trying to treat that a little differently. But he's a lot closer to an AJ Styles. I think a lot of people put him above an AJ Styles than he is to, say, a Dragon Lee, who I take nothing away from, don't get me wrong. But what's a Dragon Lee to a Okada? I'm sorry, that just... You're not going to tell me that those two are on that same pedestal. I mean, I respect the shit, and I actually love me some Dragon Lee. But at the same time, you know, if you're gonna make that comparison, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, I'm just trying to think, was he ever Ring of Honor World Champion at any point? And on a multitude of times? I believe the answer to that would be no. But anyways, like I said, that's just me getting that out there. I just wanted to get that off. I got to get ready to head to work, of course. But a lot more time I'll have tomorrow and the rest of the week and weekend. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Do you think Okada's still WWE bound? Does he go to AEW? Do you like him better in TNA, maybe? Who knows? I mean, we're going to find out an awful lot here, as if we didn't find out an awful lot over the last 48 or 36 hours. Whatever the hell it's been. Shit. But either way, y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. Talk to me. I'm out.